Yamaha Revso 502, it's black and it's got metal things and it is black and has metal things that turn and it has black things too and more metal things. Belly cut. I like this part. Just look at it. It looks like it wants to go. I would tell you the year this was made, but I have no idea what it is. Yamaha probably doesn't care either. They made a good guitar, they gave it a number, that's it. But listen, just listen. Can you hear it? Idling. Yamaha Revso 502, the official guitar of going to get a pack of strings and coming back with new brake pads and a rash. With the Revstar lineup, Yamaha managed to do what most Western brands won't even dare mentioning to their therapists. They made something completely new, an entire series that, to be fair, does take a few hints from their SG line, but for the most part is a completely new, distinctive design from body to headstock. However, the longer you look at it, the more it seems like it's always been there, like a fake memory that's been artificially planted in your brain. It both is and isn't Mr. Poopy Butthole. And yet, if you just keep looking at it, you start to remember it from before it even existed. And it's nothing but happy memories. Its existence is right, even in contexts where it never really belonged. It simply makes sense because it's not different for the sake of just being different. It is, in its entirety, a purposeful object, down to the last screw. Every single part of the guitar just makes sense, while its different persona is simply a consequence of the former, an unavoidable conclusion to a design process that goes way beyond aesthetic. The result is one of those, how come they didn't make this 30 years earlier kind of situations? Like, every time a brand like Gibson says something about innovation and tradition in the same sentence, it's nothing even remotely close to this. But in this case, oh no. This is not just a guitar. It's a statement, and a self-aware one at that. With its obvious nods to Japanese minimalism, respect for tradition, and a long reputation of taking whatever the West stuff's already made and making it even better. It's self-aware to the point of being slightly annoying, almost smug, but impossible to argue with. It has what every hack comedian and shitty actor lacks. Those that decide to blame their shortcomings on somebody else's lack of good judgment, the inherent sexism of the industry, or the unrelated fact that some of the people in charge maybe don't celebrate Christmas. This guitar is over that because it is undeniable. And as long as you become undeniable, people are going to notice you. This guitar is what fantasize I would be should I ever get to really my early teens. Sophisticated, slick, niche enough to remain intriguing, but with a bread and butter essence, a down-to-earth personality strong enough to make any potential father-in-law feel simultaneously welcoming of my presence and threatened by it, by the confident yet polite stare in conjunction with a firm handshake I force out a bit longer than comfortable of my soft pubescent fingers. Yamaha Revso 502, the official guitar of every bad Asian guy on a movie with a shitty chase scene. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse. I rub my nipples. Now I have to mention the finish on this thing. Yamaha calls this Shop Black, which is yet another nod to bikes and workshops, and they do this brush setting thing, as they call it. I mean, they might as well change the name to Crime Scene Black, because don't get me wrong, I love the way it looks, but the moment you take this out of the box, fingerprints, fluids of all sorts, even your smell, it's all there for good. Ready for the cops to knock down your door and start figuring out all the despicable things you did while pretending to strum on the couch as some random episode of Puppy Dog Pals runs on the background. On the bright side, though, you'll never see a shitty relic job on one of these because it's relics itself. Seriously, the moment you lay a finger in it, it starts a self-relic, it becomes your own, and should you ever sell it, it'll remain your own long after you sold it. Like, have you ever bought a used mattress? Let me tell the story of when I used to stay. Grandma said Tuesday night, Mom and Daddy said they had to go to the movies every Dirty habit. Yamaha Revstar. This is what happens when you use the same brand name for everything. Things get very confusing when you turn the lights off. All the products get out of the cages, and next thing you know, there's guitars and bikes and pianos playing Spin the Pickle. And then nobody knows who's the one they had to ask for child support. Now, I suppose you want to know what it sounds like. Well, it sounds like you'd expect it to sound. It's a mahogany body with a bound maple top, setting mahogany neck with a chunky but comfortable profile, and a bound rosewood fretboard with an odd 30 and 3/4 inch radius, sporting 22 of the best finished jumbo frets I've ever seen in my life, perfectly presented on a 24 and 3/4 inch scale, supported by Urea nut and a fully adjustable wraparound bridge, and there's two Yamaha design P90 style pickups with Alnica 5 magnets placed exactly where you'd expect them to be. It's an ergonomically superior Les Paul with P90s at a small fraction of the cost, and with the advantage of having passive quality control that's stricter than what our Big Mac is subjected to. Even the hardware is better than in most Gibsons. The tuners are great, the wraparound bridge is actually useful when it comes to performing a setup, and the electronics just work. They're simple but great, with the low-cut filter Yamaha calls a dry switch, adding just the right amount of extra versatility you need without flooding you with stupid options that will never make it into a record. This guitar is simply flawless. The entire series is. Its form and function coexisting effortlessly, nonchalantly even. Yamaha Revstar, a warm finger up Gibson's ass. Polite, well manicured, slightly moist, but a finger nonetheless.